since we live in the realm of time and not eternity, all right, since that's the case, we can't see things the way they really are. But since Jesus is the truth, in him, we can experience the way things really are. There are things, as I said the other day, that might appear to be one thing, but the truth is the way things really are. Facts might say this is the case, but the truth says, no, that might not be the case. I'll give you an example. My wife and my 2 kids, many years ago, had traveled to Quaker Square. Now, before we went to Quaker Square, this was around Christmas time, about a month after Christmas, maybe 2 months after Christmas. But during Christmas, someone had given me a $100 bill. I stuck it in my wallet. It was a great gift. And I stuck it in my wallet and I forgot about it. I was hoping to forget about it so that maybe if I needed it for a rainy day, it would just be there, So a couple months later, we went to Quaker Square with our children. We parked in the parking lot. The parking lot attendant didn't take your money until you left. Parking was $2. I didn't have any money. And then I remembered I have a $100 bill. And so I remember taking the $100 bill in my mind saying, I'm okay. They only took $20 bills, no higher than that, for the parking lot. So I decided that I would get change in Quaker Square. So we went to Quaker Square, looked around, didn't buy anything, but had a good time. And I remembered, oh no, I need change for that parking lot for $2. The parking was $2. So I went to a little restaurant area and bought some ice cream for the children. It was a cafeteria line, so we stood in line, got our ice cream, the kids sat down, I was paying for it, and I gave them my $100 bill. The lady looked at it, held it to the light, and said, this looks counterfeit. I said, what? The line, people standing behind me, heard it. I became a little embarrassed. She said, but let me ask someone. So she brought someone in, she looked at it. She said, yes, I agree, it looks counterfeit. But let me ask somebody else. She called on the phone and brought somebody in. She said, this person thinks it's counterfeit. I think it looks counterfeit. What do you think? Putting it in their mind, maybe not on purpose, but they thought that. And they looked it up and looked at it in the air and she said, yeah, it looks counterfeit to me. But let me call somebody else. So she called the big cheese up top. He came down dressed in a suit. And I knew we were getting to the upper echelons. I started to sweat. I started to think, is there any preacher in Akron, Ohio that knows me, who actually might even like me and get me out of jail? I'm being facetious. And this guy came down. He looked at it and he said, no, this is not counterfeit, because he knew what to look for. He knew the truth of the situation. The facts said, according to what they saw, it was counterfeit. But according to what the man upstairs saw, the guy that actually knew the truth, he says, no, this isn't counterfeit because it doesn't have this and this and this. I know the way things really are. So the truth was different than what the facts appeared to be. I want to say to you today, the facts may appear one thing. Elisha and his servant were surrounded by the enemy. His servant said, we're done. Elisha said, no, they that be for us are more than they that be against us. He knew the way things really were. So he said, Lord, open his eyes. He did. And the hosts of God were encamped around them. What appeared to be doomsday, the truth of the matter was they were saved.